Learning English Grammar, the Sentence Construction Approach. Module 1, the Sentence.
This module consists of 3 lessons that introduces learners to sentence as the basic unit of the English language. In this module, learners will learn about the characteristics of a sentence, the 4 types of sentences, and the subject and predicate as the main components of a sentence.
Lesson 1, Characteristics of a Sentence.
By the end of this lesson, learners will be able to identify the 5 important characteristics of a sentence. Words in a sentence must have meaning. Words in a sentence must be arranged in a proper order for the sentence to be meaningful. A sentence must convey an idea that makes sense. A sentence must always be complete with a proper closure at the end of it with an appropriate punctuation mark. A sentence must be grammatically correct.
First characteristic, word meaning.
A sentence must contain meaningful words in order for a listener or reader to know and understand what is spoken or written. In other words, every word in the sentence must have meaning.
Voops by toops won't do goops.
There are 6 words in the sentence, but 3 words, voops, toops and goops, are meaningless. In other words, they have no meaning. The sentence does not tell us anything that we can understand.
Second characteristic, word order.
A sentence can only be meaningful if the words in it are arranged in an order that the listener-reader knows and understands what it says. In other words, the words in the sentence must be arranged in a proper order for the sentence to establish meaning.
Dirty to punish the boy mother.
This sentence has 6 words and each word has its own meaning. The only problem is that the sentence has no meaning. When the 6 words are rearranged as follows, the sentence becomes meaningful.
The mother punished the dirty boy.
For a sentence to have meaning, the words in it must be arranged in a proper meaningful sequence or order.
Third characteristic, sentential sense.
While it is important that all the words in a sentence must have meaning and arranged in a proper order to establish sentential meaningfulness, the idea that the sentence conveys must make sense too.
The wild boar knocked down the lorry on the road.
All the 10 words in the sentence have meaning. The words in the sentence are arranged in a proper meaningful order so that the sentence is meaningful. However, the sentence does not make sense because it is not possible for a wild boar to knock down the lorry. In order for the sentence to make sense, the words in it must be rearranged as follows.
The lorry knocked down the wild boar on the road.
Fourth characteristic, sentential completeness.
A good sentence must always be complete and the idea it conveys should not be left hanging in the air without a proper closure that often ends with inappropriate punctuation. Example, a full stop, a question mark or an exclamation mark.
Last week while May was walking home.
The sentence does not sound right or complete because it causes the reader or listener to ask the question, so what's next? Or, what happened?
Last week while May was walking home, she witnessed an accident.
This second sentence sounds or reads better because it is complete. It does not leave the event hanging in the air without a proper closure.
Fifth characteristic, grammatical correctness.
A sentence must be grammatically correct. In other words, it obeys certain rules of grammar conventionally agreed upon and properly used by the speakers of English language.
The children is playing in the field.
This sentence does not read correct. Do you know what is the mistake? The sentence is grammatically incorrect because the word children is a plural noun. The verb form is that follows must always agree with the noun subject in number and form. The correct sentence should be:
The children are playing in the field.
Summary.
Remember, there are the 5 key characteristics of a sentence. Word meaning, all the words in a sentence must have meaning. Word order, all the words in a sentence must be arranged in the correct order to make the sentence meaningful. Sentential sense, the words in a sentence must convey an idea, intent or thought that makes sense. Sentential completeness, a sentence must be complete with an appropriate punctuation to make a closure. Grammatical correctness, a sentence must obey the rules of grammar. This brings us to the end of this lessons. Let's get on to the next lesson.